Greetings, Ian from RTO here. Welcome to another album ranking, and this is part 3 of the John Mitchell story. We're looking at the bands that John Mitchell has been in, and the one we're looking at today is a band called KIno, not to be mistaken from the Korean rock band. So KIno is a British, goes down as a British neo-progressive rock band that's made up of members from other progressive rock acts. So we got John Mitchell on guitars from Arena and the Urbane, Pete Druvavus from Marillion, of course, and Transatlantic, John Beck from It's Bites, and Bob Dalton from It's Bites, and it started off with Chris Maitland of Porcupine Tree. They've made 2 albums. The second album, they sort of made an album, went away and did all their other stuff, like you do when you're in. Every member of the band is doing other stuff. And then in 2018 they got back together, but Chris Maitland was too busy, so they brought in Craig Blundell on drums. So I said there's only 2 albums, but they are very good albums. I really enjoy listening to these 2. There wasn't much between them, to be quite honest. It's always difficult when you've just got 2 albums. I like them both the same, but in the end I went with this one. So coming in at number 2, we have that second album from 2018 called Radio Voltaire. So it's John Mitchell, lead vocals, guitar, programming them. John Beck on the synths and backing vocals, Mr. Peter Druvavus on the bass and backing vocals, bass pedals and acoustic guitar. Drumming from Craig Blundell. And then we've got spoken word done on this by Lena Fermentes and Stefan Beats. First track is the title track, Radio Voltaire. This is really good. Some great guitar work here from both John and Pete. 2 of the best in the business. Solid bass line. It's a really good track. I love that track. Then we get The Dead Club. Again, solid track. The keyboards here from John Beck. An amazing sound he gets on this. It's a little bit different, but it really works. Excellent track. And then we get Idle Wind. Now this is one of the gentler tracks on here. It's a very nice vocal from John, and some lovely guitar work. Gentle, but it's gentle, but it's aggressive in the same sort of way. It's got a little bit of a twist. Really, really good. Then we get a track called I Don't Know Why. This is a really catchy tune. It's got that great bass line from Pete. Some great backing vocals as well from him. Really catchy tune. Like that one as well. I Won't Break So Easily Anymore. This has got so much, the combination of all the bands that brought their stuff. You got bits of Marillion in here, Arena, Transatlantic. It all comes into this track, and it really, really works. It's a terrific little track. Then we get Temple Tudor. Temple Tudor's a band. The acoustic guitar on here is really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Peter Druvavus playing it. It's got that sort of Tudor theme to it. It's a nice song, really like that. Out of Time. It's got a bit of Rich Hammond organ. I like it. Solid track. Then we get Warmth in the Sun. This is a John Beck piano piece with a little vocal from John. Excellent. Grey Shapes of Concrete. Love this track. One of my favourite tracks on the album. It's got all them elements of good prog, with a bit of pop thrown in as well. It's a little bit different again, but it sounds good. It's great guitar work as ever. Keep the Faith, very melodic. Great shot vocal from John on that. I really like that track as well. The Silent Fighter Pilot, my favourite track on this album. I love the start with the aeroplane, the move, the eerie piano. It gives you this, it's a little story of a fighter pilot. It's a really good track and a great track to end the album. This is a really good album. It's got some great tracks on here. I think the difference between this and the one, the first album had a little bit more oomph behind it, but I'm not taking anything away from this album because I really enjoy listening to this, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. So number 1 is obviously the debut album from 2005, and it's called Picture. The only difference on this is Chris Maitland is on the drums instead of Craig Brundle. So the first track is Losers Day Parade. A bit of an epic, my favourite track on the album. I love the mixture of that, the great guitar riffs and solos of John Mitchell, thrown in with that great bass line from Peter Jubavas, who just seems to make that bass guitar sing. Very underrated bass player. He is a terrific bass player. Great musician. I just love that track. Letting Go. Lots of atmosphere on this. The guitar from John on this is terrific. Very eerie, moving. Love that track as well. Leaving a Light On. This is a bit poppy, but with prog elements in it, and it's the guitar solo on this is pretty good as well. So, really good track. Swimming in Women. I love this track. It's really melodic prog, real good feel to it. Great vocals from John on that. He's a terrific. No, it's not John that sings the lead on this one. It's John Beck. Sorry, yeah, John Beck's vocal on that is terrific. Then we get a track called People. Another good track. Starts off very gentle on the piano, and then John comes in with some terrific riffs. All You See. Great drumming on here from Chris Maitland. Very proggy. Some lovely percussion. Bass line from Pete's terrific as well. One of my favourite solos on here from John Mitchell. One of my favourite solos he's ever done. It is brilliant. Perfect Tense. Quirky track. Some really nice keyboards here from John Beck. That swirly keyboard sound which really adds to the track. Room for Two. Another little quirky track here. Some great keyboard work again from John Beck. Holding On. That's pretty good. Proper prog for the 2000s. Nice melodies, nice drumming. It's just solid all the way round. Then Picture. Now this is a mixture of gentle keyboards, haunting vocal from John. It really is a very short track, 2 minutes 22, but it's got so much atmosphere on this track. Good album. I brought this because of who was in it. Oh, John Mitchell, Peter Jubavas. Oh, that'll be good. And I wasn't disappointed. Some really good tracks on this, using all their experience from their other bands. I think this one's a little bit more proggy than Radio Voltaire, but they're both still very, very good albums. I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.5. There we are. That's part number 3. Next week we're going to another band. He's full of so many bands, is this man? Oh, I'm not quite sure which one it is. He's been in so many bands as John Mitchell. So I'm just going to check. I think it's Frost next week, but I'll check. I don't want to say it's... Yes, it's Frost next week. Again, another really good band. I don't know if this is on. These are not on Spotify, but both these KIno albums are on YouTube. I'll put some usual thing in the playlist, but I shall also put a link for the albums as well in the comments, so you can go and have a listen to the two albums yourself. Okay, I'll be back later for Retro Ranking, and it's a very special one. It's a tribute to David Crosby, who sadly passed away last month. So I'm picking my top 10 songs by David Crosby. So we'll see you for that later. Bye for now.